How many takes did that take?
20.
Pretty
and a
calm
couple
there.
of bombs were, yeah, that was not not my gig.
All right, good stuff.
Way too calm. Didn't like it.
Sorry, the magic of TV.
Selling books.
Magic of TV. All right, Qualcomm.
Big book seller.
Qualcomm's terminating its
Amazon.
bid for NXP, ending a 2-year courtship. The Chinese government failing to give approval. Jim Lebenthal has been way ahead of the game on Qualcomm. He joins us now on the phone. Jimmy, you're a shareholder here. What do you do now?
Well, definitely I'm holding the shares, and I do think you can buy the shares here. Look, there's a lot of moving parts here. It's not necessarily a slam dunk. I know what the bear case is. People are saying, hey, they're losing share with Apple, and the NXPI acquisition was going to get them into new markets. That's all true, but there are so many more positives than negatives.
Well, so Jim, I mean, the stock's up nearly 5%. We could see it in front of our faces.
Yeah, and I think you've got another 15% from here, possibly by year end. And the reason why is, look, now, all right, so NXPI is done, right? We can stop talking about that. We can stop having the company be a hostage to China trade negotiations and just focus on how the company's doing. They had a great earnings beat. They're attractively valued at just under 18 times forward earnings, PEG ratio of 1.2. And, let's not miss the big elephant in the room. They're buying back 1/3 of the company's market cap. I've never seen a buyback that big. Lastly, there's one big catalyst that's still to come probably this year, which is they have to settle with Apple. And it's getting to the point, we're now coming up on the second year since this dispute started. It's not in either company's interest to have these disputes go to several world courts, which they're on the cusp of doing.
Jimmy?
Yep.
If the company is so good, if the stock is so desirable, why hasn't it done anything this year? And all of it cannot be about Apple.
Well, no, but you got to remember that earlier this year, the stock price was a little bit inflated because of that Broadcom bid, right? Broadcom at one point had an $82 per share bid out there. So when you entered into this year, the stock was in the mid-60s on the premise that maybe that goes through. Obviously, that deal got killed, and I'm actually happy about that because, again, we can just focus on the business. They've got a lot of good things going on. Chipset production is going up. Technology licensing, their patent fees are going up. So you got to just remember that the price was artificially inflated a little bit by that Broadcom deal.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, hold on. Steve Weiss has a question for you, Jimmy. Big surprise, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but this is good. This will be the yin and yang here. Let's hear it, Steve.
First question is, will IBM buy them? I'm only kidding about that.
Okay,
I'm only kidding. No, but the stock hasn't hit the levels that it hit back in 2011 and 2012. So you'd say on one hand it's undervalued. Of course, it went above there at one point, got caught up in the whole tech thing. But the earnings have also been constantly reset. So I don't understand how you make money with the stock other than the buyback. And I think part of the move today is don't forget the big ARB unwind. They're short Qualcomm, they're long NXP. So now they're buying Qualcomm back and selling NXP, and it's about the same move. So
listen, these are good questions, Steve. I'm going to jump in because you have to know what's going on in the stock, and when you look at it, the reason that earnings have gone down is simply because Apple has told its component manufacturers not to pay Qualcomm the licensing fees that contractually and legally they are due. So that's been going on for a year and a half. Those earnings are absolutely out of the picture, but the thing is, they are owed those earnings. So when you get a settlement, and I firmly believe that you will get a settlement, a couple of things are going to happen. One, you're going to get a repayment, a back payment for the last year and a half of missed payments. And number two, that 18 times forward multiple that I was talking about is going to come down to more like 15 times when you now have the earnings from Apple back in there. Last thing, some people are going to say, well, wait a second, aren't they losing share from Apple? Apple's got to be careful here. This is an opinion, but Qualcomm's got the best technology out there. If you want to have the best iPhone, you can't afford not to have Qualcomm components in there.
All right. Jimmy, we appreciate the time. We'll see you back here on the set.
See you tomorrow, guys.
All right, buddy. We'll see you then. Jim Lebenthal. Tomorrow, by the way, on Squawk on the Street, David Faber will be interviewing NXP Semi's CEO, Rick Clemmer. It's a first on CNBC interview. They had Mollenkopf on today from Qualcomm, so they'll complete that story tomorrow. We'll look forward to that interview with David. You want to address China for a second, since we were talking about China?
Yeah,
impact?
well, there are some rumors swirling around about a couple stocks today on takeouts, Judge. Yum China, YUMC, stock screamed higher on some takeout rumors from what many of us thought was legit source, and it's held in there. Same thing with Arconic, except they actually named Blackstone and Apollo as potential folks that had approached them and that they were considering this. So I believe Arconic's up 11% right now, Yum China, YUMC, also both very active stock, and in the case of options, yes.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.